Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here with some more Friday Night Magic. Today I'm playing the Hall of Champions deck. This is the last of the new decks that we have to play through here before we probably just start to go back into the older rotation. And the opening hand here is actually okay, so I am going to go ahead and keep it. We do get to play first. Wonderful, I'm still coughing. I'm not over that garbage, unfortunately enough. We're gonna start off here with a Squire. This is a 1/1 Exalted, so when we attack next turn, he will in fact be a 2/2. So this is a tricolor deck. It is blue, white, and green, and it's an Exalted deck. Now I've built it in a Rush variant, so we're trying to go to do a bunch of damage early on in the game. That's what a Rush deck is, derp or derp. And we also have this glorious creature that we're gonna be able to play here turn 2. And I think that is actually what we're going to do, because I'd like to attack with it next turn. It works very well in conjunction with an Exalted deck. So we'll just attack first. We don't need to play him first. This really doesn't do anything for us. So we'll attack with this guy. He'll get pumped up for the one Exalted in play, which is himself. And then we will place down our Not Vine Paladin, who is a 2/2. And when he attacks, he gets +1/+1 for every other untapped creature I control. Plus, he'll get +1/+1 for the Exalteds that are on those creatures. So, this is gonna be pretty solid. Let's take a look. Unfortunately, we're a little mana screwed here though, which is a huge concern, because I can't play a good chunk of the stuff in my hand. Before combat, we're gonna place down the Squire, because we want that extra Exalted in play. And then during combat, we are just attacking with the one creature, who essentially right now is going to get double Exalted. So he's gonna get pumped up for each of these Exalteds, bring him up to a 4/4, then he's gonna get pumped up twice more for each of the untapped creatures from his base ability, turning him into a 6/6. That's a pretty nice third turn attack, I'd say. And our opponent now is down to 12. Now this deck does have several ways of dealing with burn. Unfortunately, at the moment, I don't have any of those, and he just cleared my board. Volcanic Fallout, 2 damage to each creature and each player. Can't be countered, and so there go my creatures. So I do have ways to deal with that type of a deck, but I don't have them at the moment, sadly enough. And again, because I'm a little bit mana screwed, there's really not much going on for me right now. So we're pretty much going to be hoping to draw some lands. There we go, there's a land, and let's make this a... Yeah, we'll do it at the end of our turn. We'll do that at the end of his turn, even though he knows what we have. He knows what deck he's playing against. Gonna be able to pop down one of our few things next turn. It'll likely just be this creature here. Oh, wait till second main phase. Second main phase, nothing. Let's go ahead and do this. Searching for blue, and I'm assuming that he has got a counter spell that he is going to lay down. But you know what? We can't just do nothing, so we're gonna try to play him. Try to play our 3/4 with a lifelink. Goes through. So if he doesn't have a counter 4, he probably has burn. Here is the burn. It's gonna be wait, what? Okay, he's doing that to me, and he's doing it for the sake of drawing a card, because he's obviously hoping to draw into something that he doesn't have. He's gonna do that directly to me. Before the end of my turn, passes over to his turn. He got that draw from the Electrolyze. He's also got the draw for the turn. He's now sitting on 5 mana. What does he play? 0/4 Defender. Enters the battlefield. You may return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. So he's gonna pull an instant or sorcery from his graveyard to his hand. Let's see what he takes. It's either Electrolyze or the Volcanic Fallout. Looks like he's thinking it over. And he pulls the Electrolyze. So he gets to do 2 damage with that, plus he gets the other card draw from it. That's the proper choice, I would say. I mean, obviously the mass damage is nice, but that extra card draw on top of the 2 damage it's gonna do innately is pretty solid. Okay, so we've got destroy target artifact, put a creature on the bottom of owner's library, or counter target instant spell. We could put his creature at the bottom of his library. Could also put this guy in play. I'm gonna go, because I wanna start, I need to keep pushing through damage. Because he's just gonna block and nothing's gonna happen. So I could wait a turn to try to get this in play, or I could just put that at the bottom of the library now. I think I'm actually going to do that. We're gonna do that. Put it at the bottom of his library. Doing that pre-combat so that he doesn't have the opportunity to block and offset the damage. Because even if I put it at the bottom of his library, if he blocked, the damage would still not be done. So there we go, I was able to do damage. I gained the life from it as well. He's down to 7, I'm up to 19 now. Here comes an Electrolyze for 2 damage. It is doing it to me. Very interesting. So that doesn't, I assumed he's gonna do this to this and then push through another 2 damage with something else, but evidently that's not the case. He's gonna play this 1/2. The Kiln Fiend that gets pumped up +3/+0 until end of turn every time he plays an instant or sorcerer. So next turn could be a pretty scary creature. Restoration Angel. We also have this beautiful creature. Flying Exalted. Other creatures I control have Exalted. But he is just gonna block. Could also save the Restoration Angel and try in case he tries to kill it next turn. So I'm contemplating Bant Charming his creature, putting it at the bottom of his library again. Or I could save, you know what, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait, because I can use this to counter instant spells too. Or I could Restoration Angel to save my creature. So I'm just gonna attack with this. I'm assuming he's going to block. So remember, I can use Restoration Angel to protect my creature. Okay, he is going to attempt to Fire Blast. He's gonna do it to me? What? Oh, good. Oh, that's gonna pump up his creature. Okay. So the answer to that is I am going to Restoration Angel to save my creature. Yeah, because I want this. I want to get this other creature in play. So we're gonna Restoration Angel. We're gonna remove him from play, and then he comes right back into play. I'm fine with that resolving. I don't mind taking the little bit of damage. So what happens is Restoration Angel has flash, means you can play it as an instant, and it basically removes a creature and then brings that creature right back into play. One of you, exile target one of the creatures you control. So it is used specifically for that sort of a thing, to protect a creature that was put in a dangerous situation. And the best part is he didn't even have the opportunity to counter that because he did not have the mana. I'm just gonna let this go through, because I know he's gonna play something and then pump it up and he would have killed one of my creatures. I didn't want that to happen. X damage to our creature or player. X is going to be 3. So it's gonna be 3, 6, 7 damage total. That is fine. It's not enough for the win for him. And we have the win right here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So beautiful. So we are going to attack. This would be 3, 4, 5 damage, 6, 7, 8. We just attack with this with Exalted. So that's what we'll do. Ready? So we attack with the 3, 4 by itself because it is going to get pumped up for the Exalteds. And we're going to put the Sigil's Blessing on it, giving it +3/+3. Oh no! I don't have the creature with Exalted in play. What a dope. For some reason I thought I had the Sublime Archangel in play, which clearly I didn't. That was the Restoration Angel. I could have won if I just attacked with both creatures. Oh my good lord. What a silly goose. Oh well, whatever. Looks like we win next turn anyways. He's been replaced by an AI. So I would have won if I, for some reason, my brain was telling me I had the Exalted Angel in play, which I clearly didn't. If I had attacked with both creatures last turn, it would have been 6 damage plus the 3 from the instant for 7, 8, 9. So it would have been the win, but we win this turn anyways. That was a stupid blunder. I can't wait for people to yell about that. You made a mistake. That'll happen. I don't care. Let's move on to another game. All right, our next game here is against a Startled Sloth. I don't want to start. I don't want to startle a sloth. Would you even know if you startle a sloth? I mean, their reaction time isn't the greatest. I don't know that you would even realize that you've startled a sloth. I don't know about this hand, actually. I am not too keen on what I'm seeing here. I mean, it's okay, but I'm gonna draw a new hand. Let's see what we get. Okay, all right, this is a little bit better because I'm sitting on 3 Exalted, so let's go ahead and keep this hand. If I do declare, I do declare, I do declare. All right, so starting off here, and we are playing against the white aggro deck. Opens up with a Champion of the Parish, which will next turn get pumped up at least once, if not twice, from him playing additional. Oh, thank the Lord. I was afraid that that would have triggered his thing too, but it's only under his control. That is right. So whenever a human enters the battlefield under his control, it gets a +1/+1 counter permanently. Not temporarily, permanently. The card is ridiculous in that any human white aggro deck, really. So he should be pumping it up at least once. There it is. First strike, vigilance, protection. Oh my Lord. Good Lord. Protection from vampires, werewolves, and zombies. That part doesn't affect me. It's the first strike vigilance. It's kind of scary. But luckily, though, I'm going to have another Exalted creature in play next turn. So this will be a 3/3 when it attacks. So we won't have to worry about that darn 2/2 so much. And now I'm trying to think. My deck does not have a lot of removal, so I am actually fairly concerned here. We can hold off on that. This turn I'm going to filter for lands. Why am I filtering for lands this turn and holding off on playing this guy? It is because, as I filter for lands, that thins out my deck, makes it more likely that I'll draw into non-land cards. See what I'm saying? What's this guy saying? Hi, good luck, have fun. You too, buddy. All right, so we're gonna attack with this. Thanks to Exalted, it will turn into a 3/3. And I'm going to assume that he won't block and just take the 3, because then he can return for 4 damage next turn. I'm not too keen on this particular matchup. I'm pretty sure that we're SOL. I don't think I'm gonna stand much of a chance, especially with my hand being so land heavy. And the fact that this thing is just gonna continuously get bigger and bigger, probably to the point where I can't attack with the threat of this thing blocking. Or he's just gonna out aggro me, because his is a pure aggro deck. 1 color, mine is a tricolor semi-aggro deck. Not quite as good. Mentor of the Meek, letting him get card advantage. Whenever a creature of power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, he can pay 1, and if he does, he gets to draw a card. He's gonna save that for a blocker. And he could do the double block action, which I would actually be okay with, because I'm gonna have another Exalted in play next turn. So I'm going to be able to pump him up. So we'll actually see, that could work out fine for me. Let's go, I think the only thing I need double of is white, which I already have plenty of that. So I guess we'll just grab a second forest here. Okay, another freaking Terramorphic Expanse, you gotta be kidding me. All right, so we're gonna play him. He is another Exalted creature. I can use him to destroy I'm running 3 of these because artifact and enchantments are actually really concerning now. In prior metagame, not so much. Actually, you know what? I can't attack. Well, if I do, it's going to be for... it would be for 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be a 4/4. So if he double blocks, then I'll at least be able to kill something. You know what I mean? So do I do it, or do I wait and then I can attack with this, which will be a 2, 3, 4, which will be a 5/5. Well, that guy's gonna get pumped up next turn anyway. So I am going to attack, because then at least we'll be able to kill something if he chooses to block here. Because this is gonna be a 4/4. So let's see what he does. He'll have to double block to kill it. And in terms of what choice I'll make, I'll probably choose to kill the Champion of the Parish. So he's realizing that he'll lose stuff if he double blocks. So he chooses not to block at all. Okay, so we push 4 damage through. He's at 13. Okay, cool. I am pretty happy with that, actually. Pretty happy that that was his decision. See how happy I am for how much longer. All right. So Doomsayer, he can tap it to put tokens on the battlefield if he's got 5 or less life. Pumps his stuff up. He's gonna play... Oh, he paid the Mentor of the Meek cost to draw a card, and now he can attack me if he so desires. But he's thinking that, what about the next attack phase? I mean, he can just throw away, like, I would just throw away the Elite Inquisitor as a, like, I would block with the Elite Inquisitor. That'd be an easy choice to throw away because these other cards are so much more valuable, you know what I mean, for him. So we're not going to block, we'll let the 2 go through. We're going to Terramorphic Expanse. Whoa, 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 hold up, give me a second here. Terramorphic Expanse, that was close, almost skipped right into... almost skipped right into my turn. Okay, there we go, another Exalted creature, nice to have. Kind of a crap game so far for me. It's actually not really good at all. And we're gonna swing with this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 6. So we could double block, lose creatures, or we could let 6 go through. I am assuming he's gonna choose to block. He should probably, if I were him, I would chump block with the Inquisitor. That's the least valuable creature. There you go, good choice. Good choice, sir. It's the right one to make. I need something big on my next draw, or else it's GG. Put 5, yeah, it's GG. Put 5 white creatures onto the battlefield. Wow. And then you can flashback it, and if you do, you get 10 of those tokens instead. So this thing now is a 9/9. Wow. So yeah, this is this is game over. And pump it up to a 10/10. So me attacking next turn doesn't do anything. He chump blocks with a 1/1. I might as well prevent this 10 damage. I'm gonna just try to hold on here. I lose one of my Exalted triggers as a result, but I don't really know that I've got much of a chance right now anyways. We have an unblockable creature, which is nice, and we would get Exalted triggers from it, but I'm gonna be forced to block next turn. So that's not gonna happen. So I just have to kind of stall at this point as best I can, and just hope. I'm not even sure what I could potentially draw into. Flying Lifelink, it's a 2/4, something I can't even really push through. Again, I have the unblockable creature, but he's at 13. I could potentially get 2, 3, 4, 5 damage next turn. That is obviously not enough. So we're just gonna keep chump blocking. Because I don't know, I literally don't think there's anything in my deck. I think this is game over, but again, we're still holding on the best we can. Next turn, he's pretty much got the win. Okay, so this, we got +3/+3. So it's 3, 4, 5. It's not enough. Can use it to kill something next turn. It's a blocker. Use it to... So it gives 1 creature +3/+3 and 2 +1/+1, but these things just get blocked. So this is the only damage I can count on. So if I just attack with him with Exalted, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then, can I live next turn? 2, so 7. Which brings him to 6. And then next turn I block that. I block a 1/1. I take 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He'd be at 6. I'm gonna do this because I could potentially win. It's very unlikely, but we're gonna attack with this. Gets Exalted, also gonna pump it up. Okay. So, but he's gonna gain 2 life next turn from his flyer. So the 7 damage, unblockable, that goes through. He's at 6. I can live through this turn. He's gonna get pumps up his guy. We block that with that. He's gonna Mentors of the Meek. He's gonna pay it to draw a card. If he draws into that's okay, that's not what I was worried about. It's still concerning, but whatever. It's not what I was really concerned about. Pumps it up again. Yeah. And that guy gets pumped up too. His second champion of the parish in play. Okay. So he's attacking just for. Okay. Wow, really? That's all he's attacking with? So I only need to. I'm only going to lose 1 blocker. He should definitely be attacking with more. There you go. That is what you want to do. Okay. So, I block his 13/13. I'm going to block one of the 1/1s. And that's it. So I save one of my Exalted, so I can do 3 damage next turn, but he gains 2 life from the lifelink. So he is up to 8. I cannot survive next turn. I drew another land. Holy heck. So I can only do 3 damage this turn. Next turn, there's no way I live. I block that. I block a 2/2. I take 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, so that's the game. So we are just going to pass the turn. I can only possibly deal 3 damage this turn. Oh well. I kind of knew at the onset that it wasn't looking good for me. It doesn't help that I got a pretty big mana flood. I'm only running 20 basic lands and then 4 Terramorphic Expanses. And the Terramorphic Expanses, because they help thin up the deck, this was a mana flood fail game. And I honestly, surprisingly enough, I'm surprised it's this close. I'm surprised I got him down to 8. I don't think he played perfectly the first half of the game, though. I think there's some better choices he could have made, but so that he wouldn't be so low. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm surprised this was this close because I'm pretty sure that I should have lost really harder than I did. So we got 2, 4. It's all his 1/1s. I need to block these 2 biggest guys. 7. Yeah, so he's got 7 damage just in 1/1s. But, you know, can't say I didn't try. You can't say that I didn't try. All right, good game. Let's go to another. I'm not waiting for these stupid damage effects. And our final game today against Mike McRoberts. As soon as he readies up, we'll be hopping in. There you go. Thank you, Mike. Let's get another game, huh? Hopefully it goes better than last game. I'm hoping for not a mana flood. This hand is okay. I really like the Sublime Angel. I like the start. I do get to play first, so we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. Turn 1. That's our Squire in play. Turn 2 is going to be a Terramorphic Expanse. The question then becomes, do I go for a green or a blue? It'll be the green, because that's the most, that's the only way I'm going to be able to play anything. I'll be able to throw this guy down, and all I need is 1 more land to play the Sublime Archangel, which makes me really happy. And we got another Squire. That is glorious. So second Squire prior to combat, so that we can go ahead and trigger our lovely Exalted, and then we swing for 3. Next turn, it will be the Behemoth Sludge. And if that stays in play, and my creatures stay in play, and I can equip, then it's going to be pretty awesome. Because I'll be swinging for 3, 4, 5 lifelink trample, not next turn, but the turn after. Which would be pretty nice. Okay, so we'll be searching through for a green here. Let's see what he's got going on turn 2. Second Plains. Nothing. Oh boy. That makes me very, very happy that he still has nothing going on. So there's our green. Here is, oh, of course we draw another one of these. We needed the green anyways to get this, so we're super far off from the Bant Charm. This turn though, we've got the Behemoth Sledge. We're gonna do that post-combat though. So first things first, attack for 3. And then second main phase, Behemoth Sludge. So now he is down to 14. Behemoth Sludge, and I've got a feeling that this is gonna survive the turn, which means next turn, 5/5, Trample Lifelink. The biggest thing, Trample doesn't really matter, he doesn't have a creature yet. He probably, hopefully will play one this turn, otherwise I don't know what he's doing. Okay, Core Spirit Dancer, there it is. Well, that doesn't do him any good right now. Let's see, does he have an equipment for it? For 1 white? No, he does not. All right. So we are looking really, really good right now, even though we're mana screwed and we can't play any of these awesome cards in our hand. We can do this. Equip, +2/+2, lifelink trample, swing for the 5/5, lifelink trample, lifelink, so amazing. I'm gonna be up to 25. If he does not block, he's down to 9. If he does block, he's at 11. Does not block, doesn't want to lose the Core Spirit Dancer, down to 9. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Does he have a Wrath of God? Did he play the Core Spirit Dancer? I don't know why he would have played it, though. He mustn't be Wrathing of Godding, because he wouldn't have played the Spirit Dancer if he planned to do that. Here is Enchanted Creature. When this enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted Creature has protection from creatures. That's pretty huge. He's going to get pumped up. He has protection from creatures, which means he does not take damage from creatures. He cannot be blocked by creatures. But I can still attack, and trample damage will go through if he blocks, I believe. Which is not entirely possible. Oh, yes, though. Here's the biggest thing. So we can either give our creatures Exalted with us. Or we can put that thing on the bottom of his library, which I really like that idea. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna Bant Charm. Well, here we go, actually. I'm gonna do this. We will attack. This gets pumped up. Prior to him declaring blockers, put this creature in the bottom of his library. That is gonna remove his enchantment. Go straight into the graveyard. Creature on the bottom of his library, 5 damage, which he can't block, goes through. We're up to 30, he is down to 4. Unless he has a Wrath of God, we win next turn. Oh man. This is, talk about a solid game, huh? Ended up working out very well. I was a little scared that I was going to continue to be mana screwed, but we get that mana, and the Bant Charm I think was the play. The other play would have been the Sublime Archangel, which would have put 3 more Exalteds in play. 3/3 prevent all damage that would be dealt to Sword of Seraph. I think the trample damage will go through, though. I'm pretty sure that's how it will work. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this, give our other creatures Exalted. I should have just Bant Charmed again, right? Yeah. I think they get double Exalted from this, though, so I think this is going to be a double Exalted, pumped up creature. Yeah, so it turns into an 8/8. So he blocks, but then 5 goes through, which brings him to -1 and gives us the victory. And I'd say that's a pretty good game to go out on, so let's go ahead and wrap things up by taking a look at the deck list here for my Hall of Champions build. Starting off, I've got 4 of the Terramorphic Expanses. You know, I really almost always play with these, at least in duels. In the dual color decks, but I think especially in the tricolor decks, they're absolutely mandatory. When you're running with 3 colors, you need to be able to look for certain lands, but the other big thing, remember, is that this filters down your deck, making you more likely to draw into non-land cards. So I absolutely love them. 4 of the Squires here, they're nice early game Exalteds. We've got the Paladin, which is super awesome because it basically gets double Exalted. It gets Exalted for your Exalted creatures when it attacks alone, but also it gets +1/+1 for each of your untapped creatures you control, which will be all of your other Exalted creatures. It's really awesome. Moving on, got the Pride Mage running with 3 of these. It's a nice Exalted creature, which pumps up Exalteds, and you can use it to destroy artifacts or enchantments. I think especially now with the heavy equipment deck that you saw me play, I think that was last week, having this sort of removal is pretty crucial. Even Squire for a flying creature plus Exalted, unblockable, triggering off of your Exalteds can be a lot of damage that they can't deal with. Sigil Blessing to pump up your creatures, either your single creature or the mass of your creatures if you decide to ignore Exalted and attack with everything. We have got to the Asura of War. This is a 3/3 for 3. However, it is green, white, and blue, so it's difficult to get that. But if you can, it's a 3/3 flying that you can pay 2 to pump up permanently. 1/1 counters that stay on it. Really nice creature. The Guilt Spire Avenger. I like this because not only does it have Exalted, but it helps you deal with big creatures that your opponents throw at you. You can tap it to destroy a target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. So they attack. You let the damage go through, you then destroy said creature. It's almost like there's that Black Assassin card, but the Assassin one's a little bit better than this, but this also does have Exalted. Okay, the Rox War Monk for a nice lifelink creature. It's a 3/4 as well, making it, it's pretty beefy. Dauntless Escort, it's a 3/3 creature. You can use it to make your creatures indestructible by sacrificing it, which I think is important in this deck to deal with mass removal. Making your creatures indestructible. The only thing they really get affected by is like exile and -1 counters. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much it. This card's kind of amazing. It's a 2/3 with reach, so it can block creatures with flying. However, whenever a creature is attacking, you can, if you control a forest or plains, which you will, you can cast it without paying its mana cost and with flash. It's unbelievable. It's so good. You can play it for... It's basically a card that you're guaranteed to play for free because you're going to have a forest or plains, and at some point in the game, a creature is going to be attacking. So it's pretty awesome. Now, it doesn't have... It has reach, which makes it nice for the extra blocking potential, but it doesn't have... If it had Exalted, well, it'd probably be rare. But yeah, it's a pretty awesome card. Behemoth Sledge to pump up your creatures, giving him lifelink and trample. You saw how great that is. The Band Charm, love this. Destroy an artifact. I talked about earlier why that's now useful in the current meta. Putting a creature on the bottom of its owner's library, especially useful. In fact, that's what you saw me primarily use it for. You can also use it to counter an instant spell, which, hey, you know what? Counter spells, always nice to have. Rafiq of the Many, 3/3 with Exalted. It does cost 1 of each color plus a colorless. However, whenever a creature attacks alone, it gains double strike until end of turn. Plus it has Exalted. Pretty awesome in this deck. Knight of the New Alara to 2/2 for 4. Each other multi-creature you control gets +1/+1 for each one of its colors. I've got a lot of dual and tricolor creatures in this deck, so this works very well for that reason. Lone in Armor Guard. Drop it in the battlefield. Creatures you control get +1/+1 till end turn. If you want to ignore Exalted and swing with anything, this can help you push extra damage through. Sublime Archangel, flying, Exalted, gives your other creatures Exalted. If they already have Exalted, they get double Exalted, running with 2 of those. Restoration Angel, great for protecting a creature. It's got flash, played as an instant. It's a 3/4 flying, comes into play, you exile one of your creatures and then pop it right back into the battlefield. So awesome. Fate's Reward, again, this is another card to deal with like mass removal. You get to return to the battlefield all permanents in your graveyard that were put there from the battlefield this turn. So you lose everything, you play this, it all comes back. And then lastly, the Finest Hour, because this is an Exalted deck, and what is an Exalted deck without a Finest Hour? Alright guys, that is the deck list. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Friday Night Magic. Tune in next Friday for another episode. Also, be sure to subscribe for other great gaming coverage here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching, and keep owning.